My name is Cimone Petersen. I'm originally from Klerksdorp. I grew up on a small farm just outside with my grandparents. It's called Vermaasdrift. It's very small, that's why I say I'm from Klerksdorp, because nobody knows where Vermaasdrift is. And I studied forensic accounting. I completed my honours degree last year. I'm currently working for a startup company in Stellenbosch full-time, and then part-time I have my own clothing business called Sophisticated. In school, I loved accounting. It was my favorite subject, and I had business studies and economics. So when it came to choosing what I want to do, it was really difficult, but I was like, okay, definitely something in a business way. So then I went and had a look, and what forensic accounting is, it's basically chartered accounting, and then we have legislation subjects and investigation subjects with it. So I was like, okay, cool, if I don't like this, then I can just leave the extra subjects and just go the CA route. But then I ended up loving it so much. It's really very interesting. So basically what you do, if people suspect fraud or corruption in a business, then they will get a forensic accountant to come in, and we will do an investigation and compile a report on the facts, and then you use that report to go and testify in court. So I love clothing and styling. I think I get that from my grandmother because she also really loves clothing and fashion. So in my first year, I always knew I wanted to own a business one day. That's again why the accounting route. And then I got some material, and I had a lady make me and my friends dresses, and we went to watch Miss South Africa, and everybody was like DMing me, wow, where are your dresses from? Can I maybe rent or borrow them from you? And I was like, yes, cool. So then I thought, okay, there's actually a market for this. So then when I started out, it was my best friend, and we started it together, but she left after a while because she now works in Johannesburg. And then we started making dresses and renting them out, and the name was Sophisticated because both of our names start with a C. And then eventually, I didn't really have a long-term plan when I started it. So I was like, wow, but this is actually growing. Like, when am I going to leave it? I can't. And now that I'm working, I'm like, okay, now I really have to think what I'm going to do. And in lockdown last year, because I had extra time on my hands while doing my honours, I started the online shop, the casual wear, because I've always wanted to do that, but it is a bit expensive because the labour cost, because everything is manufactured here and the material and stuff. But I was like, okay, let me give it a try. And I really love that part, so I bring out small collections of stuff, but the main thing is the renting of dresses. So Sophisticated part, we rent out dresses, and our main branch is in Potchefstroom, and then the casual wear is like the online shop. So I wouldn't say that I have a very broad pageantry background. I have done a few pageants, but not really like, I would say that I rushed to every pageant every weekend or had 1 million of dresses or something like that. So when I was small, a dog bit me in my face, and I really struggled with building confidence. And then when I got into high school, my parents were like, okay, let's get you into modeling. And I went and I did a photo shoot, and I was like, wow, I like this, I like dressing up. And I went for modeling classes, which obviously links with the pageantry, and it really taught me confidence. There's a very fine line in pageantry where it can either build your confidence or it can perhaps break you. I think that is something that I feel maybe comes from my family in the way how I handled it. Like, if I didn't win at a pageant or anything, nobody would make a big deal about it. My dad will just like, not laugh it off, but it was never like you have to win or you have to do this, or it was always like, do it for fun. Remember, it doesn't take anything away from your worth. And I think before anybody enters a pageantry world, you really have to be happy inside with who you are. And you mustn't compare yourself to other girls, because I really think that can break you if you go to pageants and you don't place. I have entered many pageants and not placed, and obviously you are a bit disappointed, but it should never be something that you measure your worth against it. And in other girls, I think, well, just to encourage girls to really be themselves and to show who you are. I know it's such a cliche thing, but the best you can be is yourself. I think my advice would be to just execute. You won't know until you've tried. You can put in hours of planning into something, but if you don't physically execute it, you won't know. Same with the sophisticated, like I don't know anything about sewing or fashion. Okay, now I know a bit more. But when I started, I didn't know anything, and then I would go and read up about this, but it wouldn't have been the same if I didn't just execute. So you're going to try and fail and trial and error, and you will find what you are good in, and you will find your rhythm. To just let someone be themselves. Let them live out how they want to and not live up to a certain standard of beauty or a certain standard of fitting in. Just be who you are. That's how I believe you empower not only women but anybody, by just accepting them for who they are. And that you can only do by really having empathy towards other people. I would rather say I take from different women in the community. Somebody who really inspires me is my grandmother, because she's not only hardworking, but she's the sweetest person I know, and she's really compassionate towards other people. And then I love strong women who go for what they want. Rulene Strauss, for example, I really love her, and I think she's very inspiring. So yes, I would say there are many more, but I can't think of names now, but women who really work for what they want.